Hi, everybody. How are you? Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Economy's booming. Life is good. I'm here.
Market's up today?
Market is even up today. How can I be helpful?
The Federal Reserve president in Chicago said that he could see a pause in the interest rate increases after they get to that 3% threshold. Do you think that pause in rates should come earlier then?
I don't want to get into second-guessing Fed policy, okay? I just not going to go there.
Larry, would you respond to Jamie Dimon today? He issued some warnings about geopolitics around the world that he said could derail parts of the economy. He said trade with China, Brexit, some unstable economies, issues with bonds and banks. How do you respond?
I just saw Jamie was at my office, I guess, last week, very optimistic and very bullish.
Hey, so no concerns about the specific?
There's always concerns, but I know Mr. Dimon's he's a big optimist and he's looking for strong growth.
Mr. Kudlow, do you have a comment on Secretary Mnuchin?
Do I what?
Secretary Mnuchin is continuing to go to the conference in Riyadh despite the tensions with Saudi Arabia. Do you know the reason why he's going when a lot of private sector organizations are pulling out?
You'll have to ask Mr. Mnuchin. I don't want to speak for him.
Larry, will the additional tariffs on Turkey, aluminum, and steel be removed now that passenger fronts have been released?
I don't know. There will be discussions. That's all I can say. I don't want to get ahead of the story. All things being discussed. That's all I can say.
Mr. Kudlow, what are your goals for the president's meeting?
Well, that's a good question. It's not 100% decided, but it looks like there's a lot of planning for it. Look, I'm glad they're talking, number one. If we get that meeting, I'm glad they're talking. Now, they're going to talk about a lot of things. If they get around to trade, I just would hope that President Xi would show greater appreciation for the asks that President Trump has been making with regard to closed markets, with regard to IP theft, with regard to forced transfer of technology. You know, another one that just happened last weekend, China passed some resolution that allows their police to tap in to American company computers. What's that all about? More theft. So there are structural issues, technology issues. We're not going to give away the family jewels. There's no reciprocity on trading and tariffs. So there's a whole menu of things, and I hope they get around to talking about it. And perhaps the Chinese will be a little more cooperative. I'm glad they're talking.
To what extent are this administration's policies responsible for the volatility in the market we're seeing, and how long is this administration prepared to go on this trade war? How long can we sustain it?
Look, on the first point, corrections come and go. I've been around a while. They come and go. The policies put into place by this administration have delivered an economic boom that virtually everybody thought would be impossible. You know, we're growing now 3-4%. Nobody thought that was going to happen. We're creating jobs, we're lowering unemployment. Blue-collar workers are gaining jobs at the fastest pace since the mid-1980s. Wage increases, which have been substantial now, actually are rising faster at the middle and lower middle end than they are at the top end, which I think is a very interesting stat. I'm not against top-end wage increases, but I'm just saying we're producing stuff in manufacturing and farming. We're producing stuff in energy, which has been unleashed. That's going to be a huge story going forward, the energy story, including, by the way, nat gas and liquid natural gas, where we're discussing with our trading partners and allies possible ways of making very significant deals. So that's what our policies have done. The stock market is the stock market. Corrections will come and go. I can't comment on that.
Last week you previewed a meeting that was supposed to be happening with Google, potentially Facebook, Twitter. Is there anything else you can tell us about that and when it may be happening?
No, what I can say is we're still working on it. And Google in particular has been very cooperative. Yes, we're still working on it. I can't announce a time and a date. You know, these things are hard to put together. But yeah, we're still looking at it. We're still planning for it at some point.
Are you in favor of Google building a
accommodate Chinese laws for the Chinese people?
Look, Google will do what Google wants. They're running their business. They're pretty good at it. We'll see what happens in China with Google. Anything over here? I want to be even-handed and friendly with everybody. Okay, no,
Larry,
go
can you talk to
ahead.
us about
In the back, please.
Yesterday, the president seemed to kind of be defending the Saudi arms sales, even as, of course, we're talking about this missing journalist. He talked about how important those jobs are for the economy. Is there a breaking point, or is there any concern? Does it send the wrong message if our emphasis is specifically on those jobs and those sales over other humanitarian and other concerns?
Regarding Saudi Arabia and other related matters, you have to talk to Ambassador Bolton and Secretary of State Pompeo and the President. That's out of my lane.
Larry, can you talk to us
Yes.
about
Just more on Google, you're saying they're being cooperative. Can you give specific examples?
Yeah, they've been great. I met with the CEO. We had a wonderful discussion, almost an hour. We went back and forth on a whole bunch of issues. He agreed to come back and help us if we have our conference, which I think we will. I was very impressed with him.
What's the holdup on the conference?
Oh, I don't know. It's just administrative, bureaucratic things. You want to come work for us? Well, you can show us how to do it. These things are tricky. Yes, sir.
Sears, the retail giants facing bankruptcy possibilities. Not something the administration talks about too much. Could you tell us a bit about the president's thinking about the decline of the retail sector? We see the numbers.
Oh, I don't. I wouldn't. Sears is Sears. I don't know. It's been in trouble for a while. I don't know enough about the inside of that business. Look, again, let me go back to the macro economy. Consumer spending, retail sales are doing terrific. Business investment are doing terrific. Wages, real disposable income, fatter paychecks, doing just terrific. That's the stuff that I want to focus on. This is a dynamic economy. Things happen, they change, new companies come in and take out the old companies. Schumpeterian gales of creative destruction. Do you remember Joseph Schumpeter? He's a famous guy, wrote that all about entrepreneurship, gales of creative destruction. I think he died in the early 50s. I read a lot of his, but I commune with him. In fact, I spoke to him just a couple of weekends ago to make sure that we were doing it right, and he heartily approves.
And Mr. Kudlow, how long can we sustain this trade war? How long is the administration prepared to keep this going?
Well, look, I consider it a trade skirmish, not a trade war, point number one. Point number two, the president has set pretty specific goals. Again, there has to be reciprocity. People have to play by the rules. He would prefer a level playing field, zero tariffs, zero non-tariff barriers, zero subsidies, play by the rules, no stealing of technology or theft of IP. Those are his goals. Now, I think we made terrific progress in the U.S. MCA deal that we just completed in a number of areas, including IP, which is one of the key parts, as well as opening up dairy markets and helping our automobile industry and our blue-collar workers. There's no one thing. It's the movement. And again, the really good news here is we are working closely with the European Union and Japan. We've completed the USMCA. The China story has lagged. It has not been satisfactory. Maybe there'll be some progress when they get down to Argentina, maybe not. I can't predict that. But the president's own markers, there has to be free and fair trading. There has to be reciprocity. We ought to just get rid of the tariff barriers. Get rid of them. If you open up our markets to the U.S., open up foreign markets to the U.S., we are so competitive. We are so strong with lower taxes and regulations and energy. We will just march through. We will increase export sales hugely, and rectify some of the trade imbalances. We're just asking for a level playing field. All right? Any more? New stuff?
One more
Larry,
question.
do you know why Elon Musk was here and who he met with yesterday?
I do not. I can't comment on that. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Larry. Elon Musk.